Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today we're going to be watching a video about whether it's still worth to go to university. We are living in interesting times right now. We are living in unprecedented times where the majority of the next generation, Gen Z, are feeling hopeless. They are disillusioned with their future prospects. AI is upon us. AI is here at our doorsteps, waiting to take over, waiting to take jobs from humans. The majority of humanity will be made redundant. There will be no use for them unless they learn new skills. And in essence, what are the new skills available to people? The only skills that are truly left is for those people who are in leadership positions. So therefore, you have to make your way. You have to go towards leadership position. You have to be seen as a leader, and the best way to do that in today's society, because we are moving to a virtual world, we are being plugged into to the metaverse. We are increasingly living more and more of our daily lives online. The younger generation understands this. They're already spending the majority of their time online. And therefore, you have to be a relevant person on social media, on the internet. And the best way to do it is by having a social media following, by having the ability to communicate and amass a large audience who see you as a king, who see you as a leader. So you have to position yourself to be a king, to be a leader. And the best way to do it is by picking something that you're very interested in, something that you're very passionate about. So then it will be very easy for you to work at that thing and rise to the top and become a content creator in that space, become somebody who is seen as a king, somebody who is constantly expanding their territory, building a kingdom. And that's where you gain all the opportunities in life. That's when you gain all the opportunities the world has to offer. Money will flow your way. Social opportunities will flow your way. You'll make constant new friends. You'll have the best dating life, the best sex life possible. But it can only be done if you are willing to put in the work to build a kingdom. What I'm doing here on this channel is I'm sending out a bat signal. I'm sending out a message to all the Avengers in the world. If you believe that you are a hero, if you always wanted to go on a hero's journey, if you wanted to do something great with your life, this is your call to adventure. I'm looking for 100 people to join me who believe that they are of royal descent, who believe that they are true kings and want to build a kingdom. People who understand what I'm talking about, people understand that you need a kingdom to survive in the next phase of humanity. um, Reach out to me and we see if we can work together. I will try and help you build your kingdom. You can help me build mine. We'll both expand our territories, rise to the top, dethrone the current world elites, and usher in a new dawn for humanity. Because what the current elites have in plan for us, in store for us, is truly evil. They want you just locked up in your bedroom. They want you plugged into the metaverse. They want you to rot away, to not reproduce, to fizzle out of existence. You will remain friendless. You will remain jobless. You will remain sexless. You have no relationships. You have no happiness in your life. All the happiness that you gain in your life will be fake. It will be chemically induced. It will be virtually stimulated. And you might think, yeah, that's great. I get to feel happy feelings constantly throughout my body, and I'll just be constantly entertained online. But it takes away your humanity. It takes away the human experience. It takes away what it is to be a human. And I believe it's truly evil. Nobody signed up for this. This is being ushered in, under the guise of you know advancement of technology, advancement of humanity, but in essence is the elites live by different rules to the common people. Um, and in essence, once there is no use for the common people, they will just displace you. They will just get rid of you, and they won't do it, in any evil way. They're not going to butcher you. They're not going to, create some sort of genocide. They're not going to have some sort of concentration camp where they just, send you to the gas chamber. No, what they'll do is they'll just let you rot in your own home, which you might be owning it right now, but they will somehow take it out of your hands and into the hands of the government, where they will own where you live, where they will own you what you consume, and they will own your freedom to travel, freedom to move, and you won't be able to make any social connections. You'll be forced to socialize online. You'll be forced to live out your life online, and it will lead to a very sad existence. Um, but let's go into the video. Let's see what these people have to say about whether it's worth going to
degrees
university.
from universities like Oxford do is give you sort of that rubber stamp approval on your CV to tell.
So obviously Oxford is one of the most elite universities here in England. Oxford and Cambridge are the gold standard, and he is right. It is a audition in a way for you to join the ranks of the elites. If you graduate from one of those universities, you are seen as someone who's smart, someone who's capable, someone who's talented. A lot of the people who go to those universities happen to have the right connections. There are some people who get in based off of merit, but you need the right connections. You need the right aptitude to be part of those organizations. And even if you get there on your own merit because you're smart enough, a lot of the time you're excluded from all the social events because you don't come from the right background. You don't have the right family name, the right family connections. If you look at who are the people who run this country, who they all either went to Oxford or Cambridge. They belong to old boys clubs where they are groomed to run the country, and they are not running it on behalf of people. These are elitists. These are people who keep the interest alive for the elites and their names, and they want to remain the ruling class. They don't want you normal people in power. They take away power. However, as we're increasingly living a more well-connected world, there is a small opportunity for you to get in on the action, for you to become an elite in your own right. And the way you do it is by you have to amass a lot of wealth. However, because AI is here, you won't be able to do that via a job. So the only thing that is left for you to do is to amass fame, amass a following, for you to be seen as somebody who is important. And the best way to do it as we're moving online is via creating content, building a following on social media, building a following on platforms such as YouTube and Twitter, growing exponentially large until you have a following. Once you have a following, you'll be seen as somebody who is important, somebody who has substance, somebody who is worth listening to. And that's when you get the best opportunities in life. That's when you're seen as a king. That is when you are seen to be somebody who is important. Money will flow your way. Business opportunities will flow your way. You have the best social connections because everybody would want to be part of your circle, part of your life. And women will see that and they would want to date you. They will see you as the one true king. They will see you as somebody who is of royal descent, who is an elite, and they will naturally be attracted to you because you were smart enough to maneuver your way to such a high position. And if you understand what is happening, if you understand how the elites are going to use technology, how AI is going to be used to displace most of humanity, how most of humanity will lose its freedoms, then I suggest you. And if you understand what's going on, then you realize that the only option left for you is to have your own kingdom, is for you to become an elite, is for you to become um, the leader that the world needs. Because AI will soon get so good that it will be able to replicate human technology, human content creation, and then there'll be no need for human content creators. This is your last chance, as we're moving to a more and more digital age, as AI is getting more and more advanced, for you to get in on the ground up, for you to start your own social media channel, your own social media network, for you to build a kingdom, in essence, gain resources, and you can do it alongside me and 100 kings, the network that I'm building. We can together help each other, use each other's know-how, support each other, have each other's backs as we conquer, as we expand our territory, as we rise to the top and displace the evil elites and become the new ruling class. And the people that I work with, they have good intentions, they are good people, they have good they have good morals, good values, and they want to create a better world, a more fair world, a more just world. And if you want to be part of such a movement, if you want to be part of such a organization, then you can reach out to me and we can work together to build your kingdom, so you can take humanity to a better place.
Corporations that you are like one of them.
We actually need more people with vocational skills. People who are doing medicine here, they're going to make like £12 an hour. Plumbers, they make so much money because we don't have enough plumbers.
The next generation don't want to take manual jobs. They don't want to take manual labor. But the truth of the matter is white collar jobs will be probably first displaced by AI, because AI AI jobs such as coding, engineering, will be done by AI. Jobs, medical jobs, will be done by robots controlled by AI. If you're a pharmacist, the diagnosis will be done by AI, so it'll be able to pick and choose what medication you should be taking. So white collar jobs are going to be the first to go. So all these smart people are going to be displaced, and all that's going to be left is blue collar work for a little while before the robotics get advanced enough to displace humans as well. Okay, so really and truly, there's only a few years left of manual labor. And then you might think, what's going to happen to all these people who are now out of jobs, who are not earning a wage, who are not earning a living? They'll just be plugged into the metaverse and left to fizzle out. No woman wants to date a man who doesn't work. No woman wants to date a man who cannot provide. All these unemployed people will just be on benefits and universal basic income and be left to rot until they have their last breath. And it sounds very sad, but most people are zombie walking into this destiny, into this dystopian future. And if you was to try to have this conversation about them, saying, "Oh, this might happen," they'll look at you like you're strange, like you're stupid. They'll look at you like you're just scaremongering. I tried to speak to people, to try and get them to wake up. I tried to get them to have a different perspective. However, most people, they don't want to know. It's too much for them to comprehend. It's too much for them to wrap their head around. They rather just sit back and veg out. They rather just sit back and be ignorant to the fate of humanity and what's to come. The people who are watching a channel like this, a video like this, they understand what is happening. They want to protect themselves. And I'm telling you that the only way to do it is by building a kingdom and becoming, the leader and the king for that kingdom, for your citizens, and lead them to a more prosperous life. Because what's coming is truly, truly dystopian, is truly evil.
My degree, even if I went into a job, I don't think I would be able to pay it off quickly enough. So
every year, around 23,000 people apply to study at the University of Oxford. And it's no wonder. For centuries, Oxford has been the finishing school for the upper echelon of British society.
And the upper echelons of society will remain in charge. They don't want peasants. They don't want the middle classes. They don't want the lower classes to go near them, to be part of their society, of their future. They want to remain in charge. They want to keep all resources for themselves. They want to take your resources. They don't want you to have anything, and they don't want you to travel anywhere on your plane to go to your shitty holiday, because they want to remain in charge so they can travel around in their private jets. Okay, they want to remain exclusive. They want to make sure that their family name lives on, while you are left to rot, while you are left to have no romantic partners, no friendships, no social life. They don't give a shit about you. They want you to rot. And if you understand that the people in charge always had this agenda, then you will do something about it. And in essence, that there's nobody's going to do anything. There's not going to be no uprising. There's not going to be, you know, people up in arms to protest. They might protest for a weekend and then they have to go back to their jobs because they can't afford to keep the lights on and feed themselves. Okay. All that's left for you to do is to realize that if you can't beat them, join them, right? And the way to join them is to make sure that as you climb the ranks, as you climb your way to the top, that you remain to have good morals, to have good values, to be a good person, and choose to do the right thing once you get to the top. I can help you get to the top. You can be part of a network who all have the same mindset, like-minded people who want to do better, who want to live a life of luxury, and at the same time help humanity, or help those people who want to be helped. You can't help everyone. Some people will fight tooth and nail to, and listen to the government and what their agenda is, and their agenda is for you to own nothing and remain happy. You'll be artificially inseminated with happy chemicals. You'll be vaccinated up the arse, and you'll be left to, you'll be chemically living a life of bliss. It's not humane. It's not right. It's inhumane, if you ask me. But if you want to do better, if you want to live a life of luxury, then you have to understand that you need to build a kingdom, and you need to surround yourself with other kings, with more like-minded people.
57 prime ministers we've had in the UK, 30 went to Oxford.
Just going here increases your average earnings by about 10 grand a year.
It also consistently tops the UK university league tables, making it probably the best university in the country.
There are around 1.6 million full-time students in the UK, and the vast majority don't attend a uni as good as this one. They'll graduate into a saturated job market, saddled with debt, and maybe wondering if it was all worth it.
And students here are very likely in the same boat.
While it is true that an Oxford degree definitely opens more doors, they can't all be Prime Minister. Unless they did it in shifts, they'll have the same shit job market and debt as everyone else. At a time.
What usually happens is, the people who graduate from Oxford and Cambridge, they'll be picked first through summer internships, through connections, through, if you get a, if you get a CV, if you do a job application, and you're the hiring manager, and you get a CV and one entrance from Oxford or Cambridge, and the other person's from, I don't know, the University of Coventry or the University of Hull, you're going to pick the person who went to Cambridge or Oxford, because it's a brand name, people recognize brands, and it is that stamp of approval that guy was talking about, that you are someone who's capable, someone who's smart. And you might not be. You might just be lucky that you had the right connection to go to that school. However, as we're moving into the age of social media, into the age of the internet, as we are slowly moving over to live our complete lives in the metaverse, on the internet, you have to realize this is your opportunity for you to build a following. This is your opportunity for you to become a celebrity in your own right, become someone who's famous, and then opportunities will open left, right, and center for you. then you'll be able to send your children to Oxford or Cambridge, because you have the resources, you have the fame, you have the connections, you have the right opportunities to do so.
When there are clear alternatives to going to university, like an apprenticeship, or going straight into work, or even doing a pyramid scheme you learnt about from a guy who made a YouTube video called Why You Shouldn't Go to University, The Truth. I want to find out if university is still all it's cracked up to be.
That's why I've come to Oxford to ask,
Do you think uni's worth it these days? What's the most Oxford thing you've ever seen?
On my first day, we all went to have because I'm a fresher, so I've only been here a few months. We all went to have drinks in this room of the year above, and there were these guys, and literally they were all just so posh, and they all shook each other's hands, and I was the only girl in there, and no one said anything to me.
There's
So, I mean, she was amazed that people shake each other's hands, which is, it's just a standard thing to do. However, she felt out of place because she is probably someone who got there on her own merit, because she was smart enough to attend, because of her skills. But she said everybody was really posh, so they're probably from wealthy families. They're from the right type of societal background to go to a university like that, and she felt out of place. And those people, nobody said nobody spoke to her, because they quickly realized that she didn't belong. She didn't have the right family name. She didn't have the right background, a wealthy upbringing. So you can quickly see how people will dismiss you if you are not the right person to be in that circle. However, if you become famous, if you become somebody who is seen as a king, once you walk into a room, people recognize who you are. People will bend over backwards to meet you, to form some sort of social connection with you. People will be very nice to you, and you've never met them, but they have heard of you because of your fame. That's why it's very important for you to establish a following online. Because if you was to meet somebody and they don't know who you are, and you introduce yourself and be like, oh, okay, and they still see you as a nobody, just politely be like, oh, let's exchange social media information, let's exchange Instagram details and stay in touch. And everybody's like, yeah, whatever. And then you do it in front of them, and then you send a friend request. They click on your profile quickly and see that you've got 40,000 followers. Now their eyes light up. Now they're like, oh, this person must be special. Let me get to know this person. And you go from them not caring about you and thinking that you're a piece of shit on the bottom of their shoe, to thinking that you're the second coming of Christ, right? Just like that. And that's the power of having a following. That's the power of celebrity. That's the power of fame, of higher status. People treat you differently. People treat you with respect, and you can leverage it to start building a kingdom. So you are seen as a king as soon as you walk into a room, that you are somebody of royalty. If you want to live a life of luxury, if you want to have the best opportunities, you have to quickly realize that the only option left for you to achieve such a life, such a dream, is to form your own kingdom, is for you to become a king. And that's why I help my clients with. I help them realize their full potential. I help them realize what their unique talent is, what their unique angle can be for them to showcase their talents, showcase their interests, and for them to become a charismatic leader, somebody who is able to garner attention, somebody who is able to speak captivatingly to a mass audience, and for them to become successful kings who rise to the top. And then once we're at the top, naturally we'll be friends, we'll form an alliance, because we came from the bottom right to the top. We will be the only kings left at the top who we can trust, and there'll be 100 of us there, because I'm forming a network of 100 kings who live prosperous lives, who live luxurious lives, who have the best dating opportunities, the best business opportunities. We'll be making, these people who go to these universities will be bending over backwards to make deals with us, because they recognize that we are the new ruling class, the new ruling elites, and we're going to usher in a new dawn for humanity, a better future. If you want to be part of such a movement, if you want to stop living life like a peasant, if you want to stop living life like a person who gets bent over backwards and plundered and pillaged by these fake posh ruling classes, then I suggest you reach out to me and you can work with me and we can both build your kingdom together.
Illustrious alumni from Oxford across all walks of life throughout history. Was that a factor in you wanting to come?
I mean, considering the quality of our politicians that have come out of this university, not really. Especially the ones that have come out of the union.
Why did you want to come to Oxford?
Mainly because everyone told me I couldn't come, and so I decided to prove them wrong and be vindictive.
Really, what was it you study?
PPE.
What made you want to go into PPE?
I wanted to do something broad.
PPE stands for politics, philosophy, and economics.
I didn't want to just like hem into one subject. Then I discovered the reputation of it, and I was like, it's too late now. So, what can you do?
For the people who don't know, what is the reputation of PPE?
Tories, Rishi Sunak did PPE, Liz Truss did PPE. So, professional politicians. I don't want to be a politician. People who don't really care about society. Half the BBC.
I mean, you can see how, unsure this girl is of herself. You can see how, nervous she is in front of the camera. But because she goes to Oxford, she'll have that degree from that university, and she'll get a better opportunity than you'll ever get in life, unless you become more famous than her, unless you become a somebody, unless you're seen as a king, as you're seen somebody with royal blood. So the choice is yours. You can either let all the opportunities go to a person like that, or you can do something about it and build a network, build a kingdom for yourself, and rise to the top, and dethrone this person. She seems like very negative. She seems like she hates everything, and I don't think she'll do anything to better humanity. Where somebody like you watching would have the opportunity, would have the balls to do it. So the choice is yours. You can leave it up to her to do something, or you can step up and put your balls on the line and change the course of humanity.
Big newspapers and civil service and the government ordered PPE. So
I mean, Oxford's obsessed with having its own sort of slang terms for everything, which you have to try and figure out what they all mean. You have to decipher what they all mean in the first week.
What are some of those slang terms?
Well, we call college parties bops for whatever reason. Yeah, we call exams collections. I'm not sure what I'm collecting other than a shitty paper.
You can see that they have their own secret language because they don't want outsiders to understand what they are talking about. So when they meet a commoner and they say, "Oh, we're going to a box," where we said, hinting at a party, they're excluding you because you don't have a clue what the fuck they're talking about. So you'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to go to a box," or whatever he fucking said, and then you just walk away, and then you won't be invited to that party. Right, so the choice is yours. If you want to penetrate those circles, you have to become somebody who is worth knowing, somebody who is famous. So these people, when they see you, will bow down to you, will kiss the floor that you walk on, which is rightly so. Because would you want to bow down to these people? Do you know what I mean? Like these schools are elitist, and they deserve to be elitist unless you dethrone them. Okay, it will be a continuation of the circle of life. The people who graduate from Oxford and Cambridge will be allowed to do whatever the fuck they want, and people like you, who don't have the right family name, who will be seen as a commoner to these people, not worthy, not intellectually qualified to speak to them and be in the same room as those people, you'll be left to rot while they have all the parties, all the sexual opportunities, all the financial opportunities that should be going to you.
I mean, I just try and distance myself from the cults. I mean, one German lesson we went to a crypt and had candle lights and was underneath like a church, and it was that was a weird one. That did feel like a cult.
Yeah, I think it is really strange. I know that other universities.
I mean, he just hinted at it, that these places are full of cults because they try to indoctrinate you into their weird cabal, into their weird human sacrificing rituals, allegedly. They try to get one over on you. They try to blackmail you because just in case, if in the future, if you ever happen to become successful, if you happen to become an important person, then they've got something over you. If you want to make it to the top via your own efforts, via your own hard work, sweat and tears, blood, sweat and tears, I suggest you join a network of other royals, build your kingdom, You can build your kingdom alongside mine. We'll rule together. We'll displace these fake people, and we'll, because the World Economic Forum, all these elite governments, they want you just in a box, suffering, living a life of misery. And if you want to usher in a utopian world, if you want to usher in a world where humans can be safe and live out their lives in a prosperous way, then go to royalinstinct.com, reach out to me. We can work together to build your kingdom so we can displace these evil people. But that is it. Until next time.